Hello बच्चों, this question reads as a cart is moving along x direction with a velocity of 4 meter per second. A person on the cart throws a stone with a velocity of 6 meter per second relative to himself. In the frame of reference of the cart, the stone is thrown in yz plane, making an angle of 30 degree with the vertical z axis. At the highest point of the trajectory, the stone hits an object of equal mass hung vertically from branch of a tree by means of a string of length capital L. A completely inelastic collision occurs in which the stone gets embedded in the object. Determine the speed of the combined mass immediately after the collision with respect to an observer on the ground. The length A capital L of the string such that the tension in the string becomes zero when the string becomes horizontal during the subsequent motion of the combined mass. So first of all, we need to know the key concept, which are conservation of momentum. According to conservation of momentum, when no external force is applied, the momentum of a system remains constant. In case of collision between two bodies, if there are no external forces, so the momentum before the collision and after the collision are same. And next concept we need to use here is conservation of energy. We know that for an isolated system, energy is conserved, right? Now using this concept, we solve the question. We are told that a cart is moving along x direction with a velocity 4 मीटर per second. तो स्टोन का जो वेलोसिटी होगा that is along the x axis, that is equals to 4 meter per second. A person on cart throws a stone with a velocity of 6 meter per second relative to himself. In the frame of reference of the cart, the stone is thrown in yz plane, making an angle of 30 degree with vertical z axis. Okay, now this is our z y coordinate, and the stone is thrown with 6 meter per second velocity and makes an angle 30 degree with vertical z axis. So we get the z component, which is 6 cos 30 degree equals to 3 root 3 meter per second, and y component, that is 6 sine 30 degree equals to 3 meter per second. Okay, so now we can say the velocity of the stone v vector equals to 4 I cap plus 3 j cap plus 3 into root over 3 k cap. Now we are told that at the highest point of its trajectory, the stone hits an object of equal mass hung vertically from branch of a tree by means of a string of length capital L. A completely inelastic collision occurs in which the stone gets embedded in the object. पार्ट ए में हमसे कहा गया है कि स्पीड ऑफ द कॉम्बाइंड मास हमको निकालना होगा immediately after the collision with respect to an observer on the ground. So vertically topmost point जो होता है उस पॉइंट में ऑब्जेक्ट का वेलोसिटी जीरो हो जाए. So we denote that by vh, that is the velocity at highest point, equals to 4 I cap plus 3 j cap. Here the jet component, velocity along the jet component is 0, right? Now we take the absolute value of this vector and we get root under 4 square by plus 3 square. That gives us 16 plus 9, that is equals to 25 or 5 meter per second. Now we need to apply concept of conservation of momentum. इधर क्या होता है कि एक ट्री ब्रांच से जो एम मास का ऑब्जेक्ट लटक रहा है उसमें एम मास का स्टोन जाके एम्बेडेड हो जाएगा. तो मास ऑफ द कॉम्बाइंड सिस्टम हमको मिलेगा 2a, राइट? एंड दे मेक एन इनइलास्टिक कॉलिशन, और इनइलास्टिक कॉलिशन में हमको पता है कि मोमेंटम कॉन्जर्व रहता है लेकिन काइनेटिक एनर्जी लॉस होता है. ठीक है, सो एक्स वाई प्लेन के लिए वी कैन से दैट एम इनटू 5, और एम मास का ट्री ब्रांच से जो ऑब्जेक्ट हैंग हो रहा है दैट वाज stationary before collision. Okay, so we take the momentum of this to be 0, that is equals to 2m into v. V is the velocity of the combined mass after collision. So we have v equals to mm, दोनों साइड से ही कैंसिल आउट हो जाएगा, 5/2 दैट इज 2.5 मीटर पर सेकेंड. तो हमारे पास फर्स्ट पार्ट का आंसर आ गया, दैट इज 2.5 मीटर पर सेकेंड. Now in the second part we need to determine the length L of the string such that the tension in the string becomes zero when the string becomes horizontal during the subsequent motion of the combined mass. Okay, so part B का आंसर अब करते हैं. This body of mass m is hanging from the tree branch and the stone of mass m hits it, gets embedded into it and makes an angle, makes an inelastic collision. Okay, now suppose after this collision we find this body of 2m mass at some instant at this position. ठीक है, तो नीचे के डायरेक्शन में 2mg वेट अप्लाई होगा अगर स्ट्रिंग हॉरिजॉन्टल के साथ अल्फा एंगल करता है. तो इस डायरेक्शन में हमारे पास 2mg cos अल्फा कंपोनेंट होगा वेट का, और इस डायरेक्शन में 2mg sin अल्फा कंपोनेंट होगा. देयर विल बी some amount of tension in the string. Okay, so from here we can write that t minus 2mg cos alpha, this is equals to m square by r. Let's take this velocity v prime. Okay, so at the highest point, that is जब स्ट्रिंग कुछ ऐसा पोजीशन में आ जाएगा, एक हॉरिजॉन्टल पोजीशन, तो वर्टिकल के साथ एंगल होगा 90 डिग्री. सो वी कैन राइट अल्फा इक्वल्स टू 90 डिग्री and at the topmost position also t0 होगा. So we can say v prime equals to 0 here. तो जब टॉप मोस्ट पोजिशन में कोई वेलोसिटी नहीं रहेगी तब एनर्जी सिर्फ पोटेंशियल एनर्जी ही रहेगा. ठीक है, हम कह सकते हैं कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एनर्जी से कि लोएस्ट पोजीशन में काइनेटिक एनर्जी मैक्सिमम होगा और टॉप मोस्ट पोजीशन में पोटेंशियल एनर्जी हाईएस्ट होगा. ठीक है, लोअर मोस्ट पोजीशन में जो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी है दैट इज 0 एंड टॉप मोस्ट पोजीशन में काइनेटिक एनर्जी इज 0. काइनेटिक एनर्जी इक्वल्स टू हाफ इंटू 2m इंटू 2.5 इसका होल स्क्वायर and potential energy equals to 2mgl. L is the length of the string. Also, we can consider L to be the displacement between the lowermost and highest position, right? So we can write half into 2m into 2.5 का square equals to 2mgl. तो 2 दोनों साइड से कैंसिल आउट होगा, m भी कैंसिल आउट होगा, हमको मिलता है L equals to 2.5 square by 2 into g, right? अब g का वैल्यू होता है 9.82 as given in the question. So 2 into 9.82, 2.5 स्क्वायर का वैल्यू होता है 6.25 by 2 into 9.82 करें तो हमको मिलेगा almost 0.318 meter. So the length of the string is 0.318 meter. This is the answer to the part B. Hope you have understood it well and best of luck.